All right, one question for each game. Pittsburgh is at the Chargers. Rank the wide receivers.
Well, this is going to be different for me than it is for Jamey. But I would go Ladd, then Keenan, then DK, then Quentin, then Calvin Austin.
Okay. Jamey has stepped away momentarily. He should be right back. But for Heath, it is.
I think he already gave us his ranking.
All of them?
And he publishes them on the website.
Well,
so
I guess we won't do the show then.
No, but I think I could tell you, but he's here. He's back now, so he could tell.
All right, Jamey, rank the wide receivers in the Pittsburgh-Los Angeles game.
Would go McConkey 1, Johnston 2, Allen 3, Metcalf 4, Austin 5.
Okay, yeah, quite different. But you both have McConkey 1. All right, New England at Tampa Bay. This is an interesting game. Who is the best flex in this game, Heath?
Emeka Egbuka.
Okay, sorry. Other than Emeka Egbuka. Yeah, no, he strikes me as the only. Am I missing something? Is he the only must start in this game? Because the Patriots have a great run defense, and it looked like Rachaad White kind of lost some of his role last week to Sean Tucker. So is there anyone other than Emeka? That's a better question. Is there anyone other than Emeka Egbuka who's an obvious start in this game, Heath?
I can't imagine sitting Rachaad White this week. Like, I know it's a terrible matchup, but you gonna start Ken Walker over him?
So it's a terrible matchup on one hand, and it's a great matchup on the other. If you look at it from what White could do, and it's format specific. So the Patriots give up the most receptions to running backs with 50, and the last month, I believe it is, it's been awful. Like, they can't stop guys. Now, granted, it's been some pretty good ones, but this is where White has to win. He has to win catching the ball because he's not going to have success running the ball. He hasn't had success running the ball, which is why I think they pivoted to Tucker against the Saints in their last game. So I would look at it as he's a number 2 running back in PPR, and he's a borderline number 2 running back because of the weak flex option in non-PPR, and I think it's still number 2 running back in half PPR, but it's not going to be because he's getting you 60-plus rushing yards on the ground. That might be the best case scenario.
Yeah, I also wonder if he lost his goal line role because they were using Tucker there last week. All right, Baltimore's at Minnesota. I'll give this one to Heath. Do you prefer Jordan Addison or a Vikings running back?
Ooh, so I think in half PPR, it would be Aaron Jones. In full PPR, I will go with Aaron Jones.
What if Jones doesn't play? How would this change?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to start Aaron Jones anymore. I would probably have Mason ahead of Addison, yes.
All right, Atlanta at Indianapolis in Germany. Jamey, starter sit Drake London if Sauce Gardner plays.
Yeah, I'm still starting him. I mean, he had to deal with Christian Gonzalez for part of the game last week, and he still came through. Like, I'm not getting cute with him at this point. He's just too good.
And do we know for sure that the Colts will have Sauce Gardner?
Right,
no, we do not. Jacksonville's at Houston. Heath, can you trust Nico Collins, who I believe is wide receiver 24-ish per game, with Davis Mills?
I must start wide receiver.
Okay. Buffalo at Miami. Jamey, starter sit Khalil Shakir. Dolphins allow the fewest fantasy points to wide receivers.
He's just, I think when I start my rankings every week, wide receiver, I just put him at 30. Doesn't matter the week, doesn't matter what the opponent, like, he's just 30. He's just the prototypical number 3 wide receiver. Like, 11 PPR points is the floor. If he scores a touchdown, he's going to be better than that, but that's kind of just where he lives.
Okay, he has scored, I want to say 11 or more PPR fantasy points in 20 of his last 25 healthy games dating back to last year.
And he had 4 for 45 and a touchdown against them in the first meeting.
Okay, Cleveland is at the Jets. Do we consider Garrett Wilson, who I want to say has scored 14 or more PPR fantasy points, or 19 or more for PPR fantasy points in 4 games this year? Heath, is he just back to being just a stud, top 12 guy?
Yeah, he's behind London. He's behind Nico, but he's a number 2 wide receiver. I'll probably have him a little bit higher if Tyrod Taylor starts because there will be more passes, but Taylor's also been less efficient as a passer, so not much higher, and it's not a great matchup.
You know, it hasn't been that hard of a matchup, though. They don't shadow with their best cornerback ever. They've allowed the second most completions of 20 or more yards over the last 4 games, weeks 5 through 8. They've been struggling a little bit. I think they're 19th Cleveland against wide receivers, which surprised me. But that pass rush could really wreck the game. All right, welcome back. One question for each game. Philadelphia's at Green Bay. Dave, are you confident in A.J. Brown?
I think you have to be. I like that he's practicing in full, should be available for his regular allotment of routes. Hopefully the targets will be there. Playing his own team, he usually doesn't get as many targets against zone as he does man, but I still think he's a good number 2 receiver.
Okay. And Detroit's at Washington. Another receiver question. We'll throw a running back in there too. Jamey, rank Jameson Williams, Deebo Samuel, and David Montgomery.
What scoring?
Let's go with half PPR. J-Mo, Deebo, Montgomery.
Montgomery, J-Mo, Deebo.
Ooh.
J-Mo, Deebo. Montgomery is like a worse. Is Montgomery a worse version of Dobbins? I feel like he is.
No, he scores touchdowns.
But even when he scores, we scored in 4 games, I think. 2 of them were big games because he had a long run against Baltimore and he had that crazy game against Cincinnati with 18 carries and a passing touchdown. The other 2 games have been like 12-ish, 13 points. I don't know.
It's a fair comp.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Not as many total yards because he only gets 12 carries a game.
Who has more catches this year? J.K. Dobbins or David Montgomery?
Montgomery.
I don't know the answer. I'll look at
it. Giants are at the Bears. How are you approaching, Jamey, the Bears running backs?
I would start them both if you need to. They're both top 20 running backs for me. Swift ahead of Monangai by a couple spots.
I don't think it's a couple spots. It should be a bunch of spots, but I do like them both. I'd be a little nervous about just how much work Monangai is going to get, but you can't help but notice over their last 2 games together, they played a very close amount of snaps. Like DeAndre Swift, slight majority in terms of snaps, but a little bit bigger of a majority. Let's call it somewhere between like 5 and 8 touches ahead of Kyle Monangai. I don't mind Monangai this week if you're struggling a little bit at running back, but Swift to me is awesome. Montgomery and Dobbins, who has more catches? You both said Montgomery. You are both correct. 13 to 11.
Good thing it wasn't a tie.
Would we have gotten a mushroom reference if it was a tie?
No, much worse.
Rams
I wish it was a tie. I wonder what the reference was.
Rams are at the 49ers. Do we like Juwan Jennings?
Yeah, he's not bad.
I'm going to try when we get to the game. Yeah, I'll do it right now.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to try to convince you on Juwan Jennings. All right.
Okay, keep in mind that I've already got him as a high-end flex.
Target share, last 3 games, 29.2%, 22.6%, 21.7%. But they just haven't been throwing the ball a lot. Mac Jones in those games, 26 pass attempts, 32 and 24. They ran the ball all over Atlanta. The next game was at Houston. That's a tough matchup. And then they ran the ball all over the Giants. The Rams, they allow 3.8 yards per carry to running backs.
They're great.
They haven't allowed a rushing touchdown to a running back, as Jamey says every time. And they score a bunch of points. So I'm thinking we actually could get 35 or more pass attempts from whichever quarterback it is. You give me a 20% or more target share. We're talking 7 or more targets. Mm-hmm. And I think a good opportunity here for Juwan Jennings.
Completely agree. I would start him ahead of, we talked about Deebo a minute ago. I would start him ahead of Deebo in full PPR, Khalil Shakir. I have him ahead of DJ Moore. I still feel good about that as of now. The Bucs receivers outside of Abuka.
Actual game of the week, yeah! The Rams at the Niners. Not that game in Germany. Hey, this is the game of the week, yeah! All right, sorry about that. It was a legit.
Why do you apologize after you do it?
It was a legit thought about Juwan Jennings. It wasn't just
right. The one thing I was going to add is when the week started, I didn't want to chase what he did last week. We talk about it all the time. When a player has a big week, fantasy managers just generally tend to gravitate toward those guys because they saw them do well They think they're going to do it again. And he was not good in the 4 games prior by a long shot. But I think volume will be there. I actually think it'll be a little better for him if it's Brock Purdy instead of Mac Jones. But he's been playing well. Looks like the number 1 target there among wide receivers. Kittle has not been as involved as we'd like. Well, Juwan Jennings is a high-end number 3 receiver as a flex play. I'm good with it.
All right, Jamey, Arizona's at Seattle. Is Marvin Harrison Jr. a must start?
Yes. I think you just have to look at, again, what we're dealing with for this week, who's out, and what he just was able to accomplish with Jacoby Brissett starting. Remember, he's played a game and a half with Jacoby Brissett prior to last week, and then looks awesome. Clearly, matchup was fantastic. But I think you just have to say, at this point, solid number 2 receiver.
A.J. Brown or Marvin Harrison?
Marvin Harrison.
I agree.
Ooh, interesting. Okay, and then New Orleans is at Carolina. Who do you like better, Tedero McMillan or Chris Olave?
McMillan by like a spot or 2.
I've got Olave 1 spot higher in full PPR.
All right, Heath has Olave, I think 12th, something like that. You guys are closer to 20th. Sunday.
Yeah, he's a number 2 receiver. Should get a lot of volume. Not the toughest matchup in the world. Saints should be trailing. It's kind of easy to figure this game out.
Yeah, that's why it's last. And Bryce Young, by the way, 6 straight games with 30 or fewer pass attempts. 4 of those games, 25 or fewer pass attempts. This is a power run team when they can be. They just, this is what they do.
They will be.
Yeah, they will be.
We could knock out this game right now if you really wanted to.